Evelyn. Carter always said she believed in timing, that everything beautiful comes when you least expect it. But when she met Ryan Blake, it felt like timing was playing a cruel trick on her. She was 26, a passionate writer who had just moved to Los Angeles to work for an online magazine. He was 32, a talented musician whose songs carried more sadness than sound. They met on a rainy night when Evelyn's car broke down near a small music cafe. She ran inside, soaked and shivering, just as Ryan was playing his last song, a slow, aching melody about losing someone you never had. Their eyes met briefly. Hers were curious, his tired but kind. When the show ended, she went up to him and said, "That song, it felt like it was written for someone you could never forget." He smiled faintly. "You're close. It was written for someone I never got to know." And that was the beginning. They started meeting after that, sometimes for coffee, sometimes just to talk about music, writing, and life. Evelyn found Ryan fascinating. He was quiet but thoughtful, full of untold stories. Ryan, on the other hand, found her voice refreshing like a burst of sunlight in his grey world. One evening, he asked, "Do you believe two people can meet too late?" Evelyn replied softly, "Maybe. But I also believe if something is meant to happen, it will find its way even if it takes time." He nodded. "Then I hope time is kind to us." She smiled, not realizing how those words would one day echo back to her. Over the months, their friendship grew into something neither could name. They never called it love, but it felt like it. They'd spend long nights on the phone, sharing dreams, fears, and secrets. Evelyn would send him poems she never showed anyone. Ryan would send her songs no one else had heard. One night, she fell asleep on a video call with him. When she woke up, she found a message that said, "You looked peaceful. It reminded me that some people enter your life not to change everything but to remind you that peace exists." That message made her heart ache in the best way. But love stories are rarely smooth. Ryan got a record deal, his big break. The catch: he had to move to New York immediately. Evelyn's magazine had just promoted her to editor, her dream job, but only if she stayed in Los Angeles. The night before he left, they met one last time, at the same cafe where it all began. The rain fell again, just like that first night, too. Ryan looked at her, his voice trembling. "I don't want to lose this, Evelyn." Tears filled her eyes. "Then don't go." He shook his head. "You know I have to." She whispered, "Then promise me one thing." He looked at her. "Anything. Don't let distance make you forget me." He smiled sadly. "I couldn't, even if I tried. They didn't say I love you. They didn't need to." Months passed. Messages became less frequent. Calls turned into memories. Evelyn told herself he was busy, that fame was consuming his time. But deep down, she felt the growing distance. One night, as she was about to sleep, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Ryan. It said, "If I could turn back time, I would stay that night. I would choose you, not the music." Before she could reply, another message came. "Don't wait for me, Evelyn. You deserve someone who is there, not someone who just writes about being there." She cried quietly that night. It was the last message she received from him. 2 years later, Evelyn's writing career had flourished. She published a book titled The Last Message Before Midnight, too. It was a collection of stories inspired by her own heartbreak stories of love, timing, and choices. One evening, while she was doing a live book reading in New York, she saw a familiar face in the crowd. It was Ryan. He looked older, quieter, but his eyes still carried that same warmth. After the event, he walked up to her and said, "I read your book. You wrote our story." She smiled gently. "It was the only way I could say goodbye." He hesitated, his voice breaking. "What if I'm not ready to say goodbye?" Evelyn looked at him, her heart racing. "Then maybe this time, you're not too late." He reached out, took her hand, and whispered, "Maybe time was waiting for us after all." Just like that, under the same kind of rain that once began their story, they found each other again. Because real love doesn't disappear. It just waits for the right moment to return. Sometimes, love leaves, only to find its way back when you are ready to feel it again. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Heart Talk Stories, where emotions live forever.